Hello everyone, welcome to Vidhyalakshmi YouTube channel. I am Satish Kumar, teacher of English. Today, in this video lesson, we are going to learn a poem from the first unit in the 10th English syllabus. Right. So, this is the poem that we are going to learn through this video lesson. The name of the poem is Life. Life. So, it is written by Henry Van Dyke. So, the name of the poet of this poem is Henry Van Dyke. So, before getting into this poem verses, and we will have a brief introduction about the poet Henry Van Dyke. He was an American author and a poet and educator and a clergyman. So, clergyman, you may know, he was a priest, one who preaches the moral to the people. So, he was a clergyman and he was also a professor in English literature at Princeton University. I think these details are enough about this poet Henry Van Dyke. If they ask you to write a detailed answer regarding this poem, you may include these 4 to 5 points about the poet in the detailed answer. Right. So, let me give you a brief introduction about this poem, Life. The poem Life is a sonnet because sonnet has 14 lines. Just have a look at this poem. There are 14 lines in this poem. There are 14 lines. The first stanza has 8 lines and the second stanza has 6 lines, totally 14 lines. So, if it is a 14 line poem, it is called a sonnet. Sonnet, it has the meaning simple in the little song or little lyric. So, look at this. A word sonnet is derived from the Italian word. So, the word sonnet is an English word. It has been derived from the Italian word sonetto, which means a little song. So, sonnet means little song or a small lyric. So, as I told you earlier, the sonnet has 14 lines. 14 lines poem is called a sonnet and is written in iambic pentameter. Okay, then, so we want to add these details. The sonnet is a word which is derived from the Italian word sonetto, which means little song or small lyric. Enough. That's enough. And we'll move on to the another point. The first 8 lines. The first 8 lines of the sonnet is called octave, O-C-T-A-V-E, octave. And the next 6 lines are called as sestet. First 8 lines are called as octave and the next stanza which has 6 lines, that is called as sestet. Yeah. So, I think this is enough about the introduction to the poem. It's a, let me revise. Let us sum up the points. The Life is a poem written by Henry Van Dyke and the poem is a sonnet because the poem has 14 lines. First stanza has 8 lines and the second stanza has 6 lines. So, those 8 lines are called as octave and the next 6 lines are called as sestet. Sonnet is a word derived from the Italian word sonetto, which means little song or small lyric. Okay. So, when you write the detailed answer to this question, poem Life, you have to add these points as an introduction to the poem. Here we have the lines, the verses. Life. Right. So, let us discuss about it. What do you think about life? What is life? So, just think over it, and you can ask your relatives or parents of their ideas. What is life? Now, here, so as I told you, the first 8 lines are called as octave. Okay. Let me read the poems and listen to me. Love me, but live my life from year to year, with forward face and unreluctant soul, not hurrying to, not turning from the goal, not mourning for the things that disappear in the dim past, now holding back in fear from what the future veils, but with a whole and a happy heart that pays its toll to youth and age and travels on with cheer. Second stanza. So, let the way wind up. The pronunciation must be wind up. So, let the way wind up the hill or down, over rough or smooth, the journey will be joy. Still seeking what I sought when but a boy, new friendship, high adventure, and a crown. My heart will keep the courage of the quest and hope the road's last turn will be the best. These are the poem lines. As I told you, there are 14 poem lines. The second stanza, it is called as sestet. Sestet. Okay. Now, so let us have a detailed discussion regarding this poem. The writer, the poet Henry Van Dyke, wants to live his life from year to year, second to second, day to day. Let me but live my life from year to year with forward face and unreluctant soul. Forward face, without getting back from the goal. You should move on towards your goal. An unreluctant soul, that willingness. Unreluctant means willing. You should have willingness to move forward in your life. Not hurrying to, not turning from the goal. Yes, the poet Henry Van Dyke does not hurry towards his goal. So, he is living gradually. You are not hurrying to, not turning from the goal. Yes, if you have a goal in your life, don't ever just hurry to it, and also don't ever turn from it. So, don't get back from your goal. If you have a goal in your life, just go and move forward towards the goal. Not mourning for the things that disappear. Yes, not mourning for the things. Mourning, feeling sad. Feeling sad. Not mourning for the things that disappear. Yes, that means don't worry about the past things. Don't worry about the past things in your life. So, let me give you an idiom regarding this line. I will write it here. This is an idiom which relates to this poem line. Not mourning for the things that disappear. Yes, don't cry over the spilt milk. That is an idiom which has the meaning, don't cry, don't feel sad for the past things that happened. Okay, right. So, not mourning for the things that disappear. So, aim for the new things, that is for the future. Okay, don't worry about the past. Whatever happened is a happened. Past is a past, as we So, not mourning for the things that disappear. In the dim past, now holding back in fear. In the dim past. It is a metaphor being placed here in the dim past, which means the sad past. The sad and the dark days of your life, the dim past, now holding back in fear. Though you have a bad time in your life, in the past, in your past life, don't worry about it. Don't get back from your goal. So, don't get back from your holding back in fear. So, don't have fear in your life. You should live your life without fear. From what the future wails, but with a whole and a happy heart that pays its toll. From what the future wails, wails is hide. What the future wails. So, we don't know. No one knows what does the future has for us. We may have a good and a bad thing, both. So, the poet says, from what the future wails, but with a whole and a happy heart that pays its toll. Yes, we are not sure about the future. We are not sure about our future. So, we should not worry about any past things, and we should not get fear of our future things. What will happen next? Don't have such fear. So, from what the future wails, but with a whole and a happy heart. Yes, we should live our life. We should forward towards the goal with a happy heart that pays its toll. Yes, exactly. If you do that, if you live your life with a happy and joyous heart, with a blissful moment, your life, and that will pay you the best. So, that pays its toll. To youth and age and travels with cheer. Yeah, he says, the poet Henry Van Dyke says here, to youth and age. Youth and age. This is called in contrast. So, youth from the childhood, age to the old age, we have to travel with cheer. Cheer means happy. Cheer means happy. So, from the childhood to the old age, we have to travel in our life with happiness. We have to make our life happiest one. Okay. So, this is the first stanza, which is called as an octave. Let me read again those 8 lines. Poem name is Life. And one more thing, my dear students, this is a memory poem for the 10th standard. It's a memory poem. Let me but live my life from year to year with forward face and unreluctant soul, not hurrying to, not turning from the goal, not mourning for the things that disappear in the dim past, nor holding back in fear. From what the future wails, but with a whole and happy heart that pays its toll. To youth and age and travels on with cheer. Okay. So, we will move on with the second stanza of this poem. Here it is. So, let me remind you, it is a sestet because it has 6 lines in this sonnet. Okay. Let me read and listen to me. So, let the wave wind up the hill or down. So, let the wave wind up the hill or down. The hill or down. This is called a contrast. So, this is okay. In the next class, we are going to learn about the figures of speech. So, in that class, I will explain in detail all those figures of speech. Okay. This is one of the figures of speech in this poem. Hill or down is called as contrast. Okay. So, let the wave wind up the hill or down, over rough or smooth, the journey will be joy. Yes, in our life, we may have good things as well as the bad thing, positive and also the negative. So, we have to accept the both. We have to accept the both. So, let the wave wind up the hill or down, up and down, which means the high and the good time and the bad time in our life. Over rough or smooth, yes, the same. Rough, struggle, smooth, happiness. We have both in our life. Life consists of both good and bad, positive and the negative. The journey will be joy, but our journey towards the goal in our life must be joyous, joyful. Still seeking what I sought when but a boy, new friendship, high adventure and a crown. Yes, look at that. The poet Henry Van Dyke, says here, still seeking what I sought is the past tense of seek. When but a boy, yes, when he was a boy, when the poet was a boy, he was seeking for something like new friendship, high adventure and a crown. Crown is a metaphor here. Crown is nothing but a fame. fame, popularity. Okay. So, new friendship, high adventure and a crown. So, from this childhood, he has been searching for these things, new friendship, high adventure and a fame as a crown. My heart will keep the courage of the quest. The poet says here, my heart will keep the courage. Courage means brave. Brave. My heart will keep the courage of the quest. Quest is nothing but search for something. Yeah, search. We have to search in our life. We have to search everything in our life. If we search something, we'll get it. If we search something, we'll get it. My heart will keep the courage of the quest and hope the road's last turn will be the best. Just look at that, the road's last turn. So, what do you think as the poet Henry Van Dyke compares here as the road? Yes, you are right. So, road is nothing but life. Road is nothing but life. So, he says, and hope, we should have hope. We should have hope and faith that the road, that means the life, our life, and the life's last turn, the last section of our life will be the best. So, this is the concluding line which gives the essence of this poem. If we live our life with happiness, if we are very joyful towards if we travel with the happiness towards our goal, our life and the end of our life will be the best. So, these are the meaning and the summary of these poems, the explanation of these poems. Okay. So, let me read out the lines at last, we will finish the class. Okay. Right. The poem Life. Let me but live my life from year to year with forward face and unreluctant soul, not hurrying to, not turning from the goal. Not mourning for the things that disappeared in the dim past, now holding back in fear. From what the future wails, but with a whole and a happy heart that pays its toll. To youth and age, and travels on with cheer. So, let the way wind up the hill or down, over rough or smooth, the journey will be joy. Still seeking what I sought when but a boy. A new friendship, high adventure and a crown, my heart will keep the courage of the quest and hope the road's last turn will be the best. So, that is it for this poem. Okay, thank you so much for listening to this video lesson. We will meet you in the next class with the figures of speech.